So today on Tips and Tricks, how I make a mean off my last using the geometric method instead of having to tape the guy up and cut it off and do all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned. I thought I would show you how I make, I think it's called a mean of a last before I make a pattern. The first thing to do is create a surface you can draw this thing out on. I just try to use bond paper. It's kind of whatever you got hanging around. File folders work really well for pattern making. Okay, so first things first, we got to figure out what's the heel height on this guy. It's like 2 centimeters. So after you've determined the heel height, you also have to know what the feather is. Now the feather is the space between the tip of the toe and the ground, which helps you carry inertia. Sorry about that, I got a phone call. So I am giving myself lots of space at the bottom of my line, which kind of represents the ground, I guess. There I am checking the feather. So my heel, again, 2 centimeters. My feather, 1 centimeter. Draw some lines. Da 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 da. Okay, here's the good part. So the heel tip, the plate there, is lined up at 2 centimeters. Then I take the tip of the toe and I make sure that it's hitting at the 1 centimeter mark. So maybe what's counterintuitive is that you're going to have space below the 1 centimeter line. So here I am. I'm going to tip it up, right? Mark that spot. Doop-a-doop-boop-boop-boo. And mark the top of the last there. You just need some reference points, right? It's always good to have. Just check the measurements afterwards. Okay. And then it's giving us kind of a general rule. Now we're going to tip. The back is always the trickiest part, and that's why you need your measurements to really make sure you know what curve that is. Okay. All right. Next, check the length. I think it was 34 centimeters or something like that. Okay. Now, on the back of your shoemaking tape, there's English point, which is 2/3 of a centimeter. So basically now what you can do is you can split this last into 2/3, and then when you find that spot, you can see where your pitch changes on the toe. Now, usually for me, it's a centimeter down towards the toe, but this is not always the case, I think. Oh yeah, there we go. Here's another good measurement so that we can figure out where the top of the heel seam is going to be. Looks like I think it was 12 centimeters there. I actually think it was 11 and I just thought that it didn't look right, but okay, it all works out. So I went from the very top, back of the heel, to the tip of the toe. It's a good way to check the length. Now I have a French curve here. I really like this one. I don't know if it has a name, but I have some other ones and I never use them because I don't like them. See, I have 2 lines where that pitch goes. Sorry, you can't really see the lines too well. Hopefully you're getting something out of this. I actually hate making these videos. I'm not super good at it, and I can get pretty impatient here. But I'm almost done, and it's 7 minutes. So I think this is a whole lot faster than taping off your lace and cutting it and peeling it off and trying to make it flat and all that kind of stuff. This is the first way that I learned how to make a pattern when I was at Imperial Boots in Montreal. Okay, so again, I checked my 2/3 mark, and I went to the edge of the lace. So here I am just looking at each side. One of them's 7, one of them's 8. Of course, we got to make the pattern 8. I don't do a left-right. Especially with these last, like most of mine are pretty good. Some of them you really have to do it, or it's a big wonky mess. Oh yeah, you can see that. Not too bad there. And I often forget to put what last I'm working on, so I you've got to make sure that you know what you're doing. I don't know if you can tell, but I am a bit of a mess. I'm a real storm. My studio gets pretty messy. I think I got somebody at my door. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Where was I? I was cutting this mean out here. So usually after it's cut out, I kind of check it on the last. You'll see here, it's just, you start at the back. When I'm making patterns or doing kind of anything, I usually actually start from like the back top and work my way down, because the top of the last is the most consistent. I don't know if that makes sense, like the most stable, like nothing moves up there. So if your pattern's right up there, then you kind of have, you can fight with the pitch in the front and the, all that good stuff. So it looks like it was good. I mean, I don't want to give it away, but it is good. Everything worked out perfect. So here is a trick. Now, I haven't actually been doing this for very long, but It works like 100% of the time. So you just take some muslin, super cheap, just buy a whole bolt of it, and make sure you leave enough space to have a sewing allowance, like a good amount, probably half an inch, just under. So you trace this guy, and at the bottom you add more, 3/4 of an inch, I guess, and you'll see here. So there I am, adding it on here. So when I go to sew this together, I'm just following that purple Sharpie line. So, it doesn't really matter how much extra you have here. So you cut it out and then just checking to make sure you guys can see me here. It's hilarious. My desk is like 5x4 and I just close myself in with all the clutter. Okay, I'll be back. I'm back. So I sewed it. There it is. Slip it over. Oh, look at that. Look at that. And I'm just going to tack it on there. Sorry about all the dead air. You guys don't want to hear me jabbering on. Right? Oh. I'm in here knocking stuff over. So I think I put, 4 nails in the toe and just one on either side of the metatarsal and then in the arch, and you can't put any nails in the heel just because I got all my lasts have a heel plate on them, and that's I know as soon as I drape it over the last if it's going to work or not, but it is good to see it kind of come to life, and once you stretch it over, you can actually draw your pattern right on it. But I don't know, there's another video I did on pattern making with an Oxford, and I see people kind of take their taped last and they just draw a pattern and they just add allowance and that's it, and that's really not the way. You end up flattening all your curves, and I don't know, for me it just always ends up looking kind of not great. So I'll probably do some more videos on pattern making in the future, and once I kind of figure out how to format all of this and get some good visuals and all that kind of stuff. But for now, it's just, kind of me showing you, and hopefully you get something out of it. I figure I've been so lucky in my career, had lots of opportunities, people have been really good to me, so I pass that on. Now I'm making a mule today, which I have a pattern for this, I think, but I figured I'll do it again. So I'm just gonna draw it right on this this cotton sock. The trick with the mule is at the top of the arch, instep. The curve that you make there it's really important. Like, it's hard to know exactly what it should look like. If it's too wide, it drapes weird and you get this like sagging. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the mules that I've made. There's been that issue. I mean, as soon as you put your foot in it, it goes away, but you want a nice clean line. I mean, I think I used to like it a little bit like that, a nice curve, but it always changes. Your aesthetic changes as you learn more, or you get bored or whatever it is. So the one thing I didn't do is I didn't mark my heel plate on this, so I ended up doing it after. I like to, with the mule, put my side seam right where my heel plate is, and then I line when I'm lasting, I actually just kind of line that up, and I only have to flip it over a couple times just to make sure it's good, and put some top nails in it, and it's real quick. I got a phone call. Fuck. Hate that. I think I've been interrupted like 5 times while I was recording this, and now I'm watching it again and doing the voiceover. I started doing more shoe repair. Material costs are so expensive right now, and I hate charging so much for my made-to-order shoes. And custom stuff too. It just takes a long time, and I don't know. I like it, and I'm pretty good at it, but I don't know, something about it. Charging thousands of dollars to people, it just kind of makes me not feel great. And repair is so important. I guess what's really, really important is when people need to buy shoes that can be fixed, Such a mess right now. Everything is just made to fall apart. So now I've cut it off, and here I am marking that heel plate. Just going to draw that line there. Now, it is perpendicular to the line that goes from the back to the top of the arch. Now, that is because when you sew it together, you get less of a lump on the seam. So I'll do more work with this when I actually make the pattern. I didn't really need to show you that today, but I think that's it. I think that's all I did. Yeah. So there you go. Give it a try. Let me know how it goes. I'm supposed to tell you to. So I hope that was helpful to somebody. And I'm supposed to say that you are supposed to subscribe and like, and you can follow me. My company is called Last Shoes, so it's like a pun. And I'm on the internet. It's lastshoes.ca because I am in Canada, and Last Shoes on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and okay. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope this is good. Reach out. Let me know if there's anything else, like, any ideas. I was thinking about starting to review some shoes, so we'll see how that goes, and that's it. Bye.